Stuart, do you think we deserved more than what we got today?
Yeah, again, without stating the obvious, Scott, I think everybody that came here, our supporters and the St Johnstone supporters, you probably see a wee bit of discontent for the St Johnstone fans at the end of the game. I think there's a reason for that. I think we were by far the better side. I thought that by and large we had control of the football. I thought that some of our patterns of play at times were pretty decent. I thought we carried a threat at the top end of the park. At times we would like that to be a little bit more, and be it not for a set play, which from our side of things is inexcusable. We have to be better in that situation when the ball's thrown into our box 2-3 minutes into the game, and our reactions have to be a little bit better. There's a long delay with the VAR check, inevitably, but from my side there was a bit of disappointment just in how we defended that. But if I take everything else aside out with that, I want to try and obviously remain as positive as possible, but I can just point you in the direction of the players' performance today, both individually and collectively. I thought it was up there from what we've been in large parts, and I think it's one that, taking us into this second part of the season, puts us in a really good position for what we can do moving forward. But I have to stress again that you can see how thin in the ground we are, and probably that sort of last 15-20 minutes would be a stage where I would like to try and be creative in my changes and add fresh legs and see if we can give ourselves a wee bit more of a threat in the forward areas. But everyone can see, I'm stating the obvious, that we are a little bit short at this minute in time through injuries and through that willingness to try and add to the group. But from my side of things, I thought the players performed admirably, and I thought the best chances in the game were ours. As I say, that intent to win the game, I just felt that St Johnstone pretty much slowed the game down towards the end. Restarts in the game were almost at a snail's pace, and I think that tells you that we were the dominant team.
5 minutes into the game we go 1-0 down. The rest of the match we did dominate, like you say, some excellent patterns of play. Is there a frustration there that we were 1-0 down when that started to happen? But
Yeah, there always is, especially when you identify that they've got good delivery and they've got a real good physical presence. I think I would need to see the goal again. I've not watched it back yet, and we'll dissect it. I just felt at the time, dealing with the first ball first and foremost, but those reactions, we know that St Johnstone, as I say, pose a threat from that. So that there's a disappointment. But I think what's most pleasing for me is that there have been once or twice that I could reference that our guys have potentially put themselves into a position where you can see the body language changing and they feel a wee bit disappointed and a bit of discontent amongst themselves just because they're frustrated in the goal they lost. I thought it was anything but today. As soon as we conceded the goal, the ball was spotted in the centre circle and we went at our business the way that I would expect us to. So no, again, I could pick out so many individuals today, but what I believe this does is I believe it galvanises us into this second part of the season, and hopefully, Scott, we can start to add one or two coming back from injuries and add one or two fresh faces to this. But if we have that platform and we have that kind of stability of the performance today throughout, then I believe we put ourselves in a good position to try and amass points and move up the league table, and hopefully that's something for the Motherwell fans that were terrific again here just behind us to cheer for, like they have done for so many occasions that I've been in charge as a manager. And I think that they probably go away content in a degree today in how we played, but that bitter taste that we've all got in our mouth that we never come away with 3 points.
there was a lot of frustrating aspects to the game today. It was very stop-start, some VAR intervention. Were you quite proud of how your team managed to cope with all that and still keep their heads held high?
Yeah, I think I'm really happy in the sense of we seem to be the team that ends up picking up yellow cards for instance where you've seen them happen previous in the game, you've seen them happen after those moments in the game. We all seem to be the team that picks up yellow cards. So from that discipline aspect, Andy Halliday, Davor, Liam Kelly, these guys that pick up the yellow cards in the first half, I thought that they handled their job well, and I thought they handled it. But if I can just bring your attention to the fact that these guys come off the pitch, these on-field players come off the pitch, there's a reason for that, because I have absolutely no trust in my mind that the referee's going to maybe not going to turn something that's quite clearly just a coming together of players into another yellow card. So that influences your decision as a manager. Now, that never used to be the case. You used to trust players that they wouldn't go into contacts and into silly challenges, but I almost feel, and everyone will see it here today, the discontent at half time, because that first 45 minutes in terms of momentum changers that I call them in the game will all allude to VAR, Scott. We'll all talk about the decision with VAR and the time that takes. I would bring everybody's attention to how the referee actually officiates that game throughout. I'm fed up seeing it, these aerial challenges that our players seem to go into whilst they're up there contesting a ball, looking favourite for the ball, they end up being dealt a clatter, and the referee just seems to wave play on. And the best example I can give you of that is Harry Payton. I think it's towards the end of the first half, running about the edge of the 18-yard box, goes to compete for a header, and he's not just dealt an elbow, there's an elbow swung at him. We've watched watch that again. It's a really bad challenge. It's a poor challenge, and the referee here today chooses to wave play on. One or two of our guys get involved in 50-50 challenges. We are booked. I'm just asking for a wee bit of consistency here. There was a bit of real discontent from me with the same referee in a game against Aberdeen earlier in the season, and again everybody's seen that. There's conversations off the back of that, and I just hope that he has a better control than what he did in stages today, but that wasn't the case, unfortunately.
Thanks for your time, Stuart.
Thank you.